This is Doug with the Practicing Accountant podcast. Thank you for joining us for this episode. Today, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about movies and movie theaters, and then we are also going to spend time talking about getting new clients. At the Practicing Accountant, our focus tends to be on the clients you yourself generate versus the ones that you outsource others to bring you. Why? Because we want you to grow your firm the right way and into a firm that you will love and enjoy. We hope you enjoy this episode of the Practicing Accountant podcast. I'm pretty excited right now because we have really great tickets tonight to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. And my son and I, well, actually, my whole family is pretty much a big movie family. And anyway, we always get tickets on the first night. And so we're going to be there tonight and hopefully see a good movie. And we go to this place called the Alamo Drafthouse. Have I told you about this place?
If that's where you're going, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this place just rocks. It's got, they got waiters that run around the whole movie, and they bring you beer and food, and food's decent. I'm not going to lie. It's expensive. Like you take your family there, it's like a $250 evening. When you throw in tickets and food and wine and a beer or two. And I'm stoked for that. I'm pretty excited. And I'll probably take my wife or my daughter because she can't make it tonight, later next week or something like that. So I'm stoked. I'm excited to go see a movie.
Here's the problem with those restaurant movie theater combinations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a beer drinker, and so of course I'm going to drink beer when I'm at the movie theater. Then I have to pee before the movie ends. I had to leave Top Gun, the new one, at like pivotal point. I just couldn't hold it anymore. Oh my god!
The final part,
like the final battle. I had to go.
When he has to go up and then invert and go down.
Yeah, and I've since seen it, but I didn't get to watch it in the theater because I had to pee so damn bad. So now I don't drink beer at the movie theater because of that, because it makes me have to pee more than that's more that one.
There used to be an app, and they don't allow you to use your phone inside the Alamo, but there used to be an app, and I'm sure it's still out there. I just haven't seen it in a while, but it would tell you when to go to the bathroom. Like it would say, okay, we're coming up on a really boring stretch here. Like
that's amazing.
He's going to be doing this, she's going to be doing this, and they're going to have like kissing and all this stuff. And that's, that's the time to go. You're not going to miss any action. No cut off heads or whatever it is you don't want to miss. And it tells you that when to go. So you can still drink beer. You just got to have your little app, or you can even premeditate, and you can look it up beforehand and be like, okay, so I can, as soon as it hits an hour and 15 in, that's when, it's going to get really stupid and they're going to be planning their wedding. And that's the time to go to not the planning a wedding stupid. I'm not saying that, but it just might be a slower part that you're okay missing. And,
that's incredible advice. I'm going to do that. Yeah. You get distracted by the people hunched over, running in front of you, delivering food.
Sometimes, I mean, they're really good at, staying low and moving. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And I get nervous sometimes if I stretch out that they're going to catch a toe and the beer is going to go flying somewhere and I'm going to be responsible for it. But I've yet to see an accident like that. Maybe I've heard one, but I've not seen one. But no, it's really not that bad. And plus the fact that I know that they're bringing me my beer, I'm okay with it too, right? I'm like,
that's true.
Yeah, come on over, take a seat. It's the ones that try to talk to you. They're like, did you want this with that? I'm like, no, fuck off. I don't want to talk right now. I'm watching a movie. Yes,
you should be able to order without having to talk to them. I think that's more disruptive than a little screen that you can like put under the table, pick what you want, and then just bring it and it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Should be.
I
don't want to talk to you.
I'll talk
put
to
that
about that.
Yeah, put that in the idea jar for him.
Yeah.
Because they came out of bankruptcy. They went to bankruptcy. They came out of bankruptcy. They got a new CEO out of Starbucks. I think she is now shifted on and someone else is in there. But they seem to have stabilized, which theaters have seemed to stabilize after COVID. They took quite the hit there. Deservedly so, considering how much they were charging. But they're back at it now, charging as much as they want to for everything that they can charge for.
Yeah. I don't go to many movies. I saw Top Gun. And then before that, the last movie I'd seen was Zombieland 2.
What? In a theater?
In a theater.
That was like 10 years ago, wasn't it?
I know. It's bad. I'm just not a theater guy.
Yeah. That's not whether it's bad or not. It's just I love the experience because, and I know you know this, but there's just so many things that I'm managing and thinking about and focused on or overwhelmed by or spreading myself thin on. One of the few places I can go and truly turn that all off is the movie theater.
That's fair.
Like when I go in there and I sit down and the lights go down and the trailers come up and the movie starts, like I'm not over here. I'm not over here. I'm not thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow or what I did today. Like I'm like present. And that's kind of a gift. And I find it in a couple other things that I do in my life, but the movie theater is a sacred place to me, where I can go and really turn it off.
I think I have such a dislike for the general public that a movie theater just drives me crazy.
Yeah, so it's people. No people.
There's always someone that's pissing me off. Like
Yeah.
there's someone talking or, on their phone. There's so many people on their phones at a theater now.
But that's the Alamo. The Alamo doesn't allow it. Like they
That's
kick
true.
you out.
That's true.
Like it's no joke. You should go on YouTube and check out some of the videos that they've got of them kicking people out of theaters, or the voice messages that they've received from angry patrons. They got kicked out of the theater for talking or being on their phone. Like they are legit serious about it. Like if someone is talking around you, if someone's got their phone out, all I have to do is write it on a card and like put it in my little order thing, and the manager will come look at it and be like, I got this. And we've seen it. Like they go over there and like, hey, you need to, And then if they don't, they're 86. They're gone. I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, because I can't stand that. Like, why would you go to a theater to talk to somebody? Or I don't know. I mean,
well,
I used to go there to make out, but
right. Well, you don't anymore. See, that's why you need to go back. You can get a beer and you can make out.
Yeah, that's a good date idea.
Convince your wife of that. Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Yeah. So what are we here to talk? We're here to talk today about getting clients, right?
Well, you ruined the segue because Alamo is one of your dream clients.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, still is. Still is.
So we're here to talk about getting clients, and Alamo is one of your dream clients, and you love talking about hunting clients, and I'm probably ruining your flow here, but that's one of the tactics that you like to use to get clients. But what are some others?
I think I've kind of put them into categories, right? There's like 3 ways to get a client. There's only 3. Now, and I say that, I know that someone's going to be like, well, what about this? What about that? But in my head, there's networking, there's creating an audience, and then there's client service. Pretty much anything you can say or come up with comes back to those 3 things. What about writing a blog? Well, that's creating an audience.
Yep.
Well, what about, speaking at a conference? Well, that's creating an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about, the Alamo and targeting them and going after them? Well, that's networking. And well, what about, client referrals and cross-selling? Well, that's client service. Like they all kind of come back to those 3 categories: networking, creating an audience, and client service. And why I'm categorizing them is kind of just helps you kind of decide where you're spending your time, and also kind of give you some broad strokes in which you can focus your efforts in getting a client. Okay, well, there is a 4th one, and that is you pay for, lead generation.
That could be put in the audience bucket pretty easily.
Could be put in audience, or could be put in networking. You met the right salesperson who sold you into paying however much money to generate leads for you, and then you get your 10,000 leads the first week, and then you get 2 the weeks after that.
Sure. Yeah.
So I guess, but I would permit, that other category, which is you outsource it to someone to do it for you. Now, here at Practicing Accountants, outsourcing isn't really what we are intending to create for our group. We understand the benefits of not having to do it. We understand that, they provide you with clients and money, and that's maybe what you're seeking. But the Practicing Accountant, what we're trying to do is grow the firm the right way. Grow your practice the right way, not the way in which you are full of clients that you should have no business working on. So let me go back to the 3 buckets. So the first bucket, networking. So this one includes a ton of things like, who lawyers, bankers, who are your clients, professional service providers that you should be networking with, insurance brokers. If you're in construction, who's the bonding agent, Other CPAs, that's one that I've been talking about a lot lately with my clients, is targeting other CPAs with networking and asking, what work they're getting and passing on. In the case that there's some opportunities for you. There's just a lot of things that fit in the networking bucket. And I think there's more business development opportunity in networking than any other bucket.
Agree.
And there's just so much more potential there and power there. I'm part of a networking group here in Colorado where about 50 accountants of various sizes and specialties, like you've got your tax preparer, your virtual CFO, your bookkeepers, your technical consultants. You've got all kinds of flavors, and they've created like this email list where they're all on it. And whenever there's an opportunity that pops up that either they don't have room for or they know someone has an expertise in, they share it. And they get a lot of work out of it. I've put in, I don't know, I bet I've probably put in maybe $30,000-$40,000 of work into that group over the last so many months, of just opportunities that I hear about. And because they're networked, they hear about it together and they share it. They're like, yeah, you're right. That's not something I would do. You should do that. And it's wonderful. It's lovely. So networking is that first bucket. Sorry to interrupt this episode of the Practicing Accountant podcast. I wanted to remind you of our membership. You can learn more at www.thepracticingaccountant.com. We're very excited to offer this, and we hope that you are interested as well. We offer group coaching and training, as well as some other benefits that we hope that and know that you will enjoy. So again, that's www.thepracticingaccountant.com. Now back to the episode. The second bucket, creating an audience, that's blogging, that's social media, that's also advertising, that's speaking at a conference or having a booth at a conference. It's being seen at an industry group, and maybe speaking. But it's a method in which people are seeing you, and you're not necessarily intending the individual to see you, but you are intending an audience to see you. And there's a lot of opportunity there. It can be passive, like advertising, where you pay someone to do it for you, or it can be active, where you're speaking or blogging or doing the social media stuff. I had a conversation with an individual recently about whether they should be using Instagram to promote their firm. And my response to that was simply, well, what audience are you trying to create for your firm? What's your target client? What's your ideal client? And they had an answer, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it didn't necessarily resonate with someone who's probably on Instagram. And so my response was, well, if your audience isn't there, the audience you want to have isn't on the other end of that Instagram feed, what's the point? You're doing it then just for something to do. And so creating audience is that second bucket. And then the third bucket is client service, which is where you are serving clients so well that they become raving fans and they send you referrals of hopefully folks just like them to seek you out. And it's also cross-selling opportunities too, where you have multiple services and you can provide not just bookkeeping, but bookkeeping plus monthly financial reporting or virtual CFO or some tax prep, whatever. But client services, when I was in public accounting, it was my favorite. I'd serve a client really well. And then that client would refer me to other places, or someone from that client would leave for another organization. And because I served them so well, they wanted me to do their new place. And then when they moved again, do the new place. And so I had 3 places just from one CFO that, loved working with me. So that was always a great way to look at it. So those are the buckets: the networking, creating the audience, and the client service. Now, any thoughts, anything? I don't want to cut you off. Anything you got on that?
I mean, what we do is we live in the networking bucket, and we found another accounting firm that spends money on ads, but he can't bring in. He has this very specific type of client, and good for him, because he should. And there's a lot of clients that don't fit his ideal client avatar, and so we get anything else that's not a fit for him that is a fit for us, and some of them aren't a fit for us either. But we pay him a little bit fee for some of his clients, and he recoups some of that cost of his marketing. He spends $30,000 a month on social media ads.
Whoa.
Yep, it's a lot. And so
Whoa.
he gets a ton of interest in that, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously there's a good ROI on it. But
No.
so there's a lot that flows through, and we get a good portion of that. But it works right to your point of working with other accounting firms. Like there's this weird competition in accounting where everybody thinks they're in competition with one another, but that's because everybody's a generalist. If you niche,
Right.
and this always comes back to niching, if you're not a generalist, if you don't do everything that every other guy does, then you can create relationships between or with other accounting firms and say, I'm not looking for the clients you are, so let's share our marketing power and our marketing efforts. And it works great. And we do that with another firm that's not quite as powerful in marketing as he is, but like that's where we get all our clients for the most part right now.
Well, I think I can think back to at least 3 conversations in this week where I've talked with a client or potential client about, growing on their own and creating new clients. And my step 1 in each of those conversations was network with other CPAs.
Mm-hmm.
Like get out there, start talking to them, talk to them about what they're saying no to, find out what their niche is, share what your niche is. And for some that are just starting out and kind of newer into the profession, it's a great opportunity to work with other CPAs right now or network with them, because you'll take anything as you're starting out, and you should, so that you can, keep your business alive. So it doesn't matter if it fits a niche or not when you're first starting out. It's just, will it pay me? And will I be able to feed my family with this? And that's a great way to get going, is just to connect with other CPAs and just share work, and just, it may create a referral fee that you share 10% of the first year's income or whatever from it. But it's a great opportunity, and it's the easiest opportunity because CPAs understand, and they're not, the solopreneurs aren't really in competition with one another unless they share, a specific niche, like you do HVAC, I do HVAC, and we both do it in Littleton, Colorado.
Yeah,
Like that one, you're probably not
it's not
going to
going
get
to
a
work.
lot of luck with. But if you're an HVAC and the other one's a plumber, that's fantastic. Now they are similar, so you might be saying yes to both. But my point is you don't have the same niche, and so it creates an opportunity for 2 groups now to be out there hunting for clients for you, or at least being aware of them and working together. And it doesn't have to be formalized in a partnership or a joint venture or anything like that. Just some networking and some conversations and free clients.
Yep, absolutely.
So those are the 3 buckets. Now, the important part is this. So getting clients, going out, putting effort into getting clients, most accountants aren't really excited about. And that's why they tend to do the outsourcing bucket. But to get the clients you really want, to build your niche, I think you should be doing it. And I think you should be doing one of these 3 buckets. But here's the good news. Just create something that you really actually enjoy doing. Like if you like writing, then make a lot of blogs about how you serve HVAC. If you like speaking, getting up in front of an audience, then get to a conference that is the HVAC national meeting in Vegas, and get on their docket and speak there and talk about taxes and bookkeeping and whatever software you want to talk about. Pick your bucket. If it's, I love meeting new people, then go to industry groups, go to the HVAC industry group meeting in town and meet a bunch of folks and do some networking. But whatever it is, because there's a long list of things that fall into these 3 buckets, and I guarantee there's at least 1 or 2 that you're comfortable doing and that maybe even enjoy doing. So that's the first criteria, something you enjoy doing out of those three buckets. The second thing is something that you can do effectively and consistently, or frequently and consistently. So, if an industry group only meets once a year, I don't count that as frequent. I count that as a one and done, and hope it's an amazing event. But something you can do probably on a monthly, if not weekly basis. And that's, if it's a blog, you should be writing once a week. If it's speaking, you should be speaking somewhere once a month. If it's networking, you should be meeting at least 2 to 3 people a week. I've shared with you, and I'll share on this video, like at my old firm, and in one of our groups, they had a rule of, you had to have 5 and 5 every week. And what that meant was every week you had to have 5 meetings with a referral source or a prospect, and you had to have 5 meetings with clients. The referrals and prospects, obviously, to uncover opportunities to work with other firms and other companies. And then the 5 clients, opportunities to cross-sell or go deeper into service lines with that client. But every week, 10 meetings. And so, breakfast and lunch and dinner and happy hour and baseball game and second breakfasts and second lunches and second happy hours. I mean, you were fat and drunk most of the time in that paradigm, but that's what they were charged with. And some of them enjoyed it and some of them didn't, but that's what they were charged with. But it's got to be something you can do frequently and consistently so you can see the results of it. And which leads to the last thing that you need to consider as you're picking your behavior in business development is it effective? Like, are you actually getting results from it? Like, if you're writing a blog that no one ever reads and you're not promoting it with SEO and to your website, and then people aren't posting it on their websites and linking back to you, like if it's just something you're writing and leaving on your desk, like it doesn't count. It's got to actually get out there and draw in an audience that you're trying to create clients with. If you're going to lunches with bankers over and over and over and over again, and you're not getting any clients out of it, that's not effective use of your time. So switch the behavior. So you can still network, but don't do it with bankers anymore. Like if you're in construction,
brush your teeth or something, you're turning them off somehow.
Right. Right. But if you're in, someone who serves construction, you should be going after the bonding agents, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are requiring audits and making sure these calculations are the way they're supposed to be and the books are clean. Like they're the ones that are looking for good accountants to help their clients. So it may be the same behavior, maybe the same bucket, but just make sure it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know there's a lot of business development efforts I myself don't enjoy doing, like cold calling. That's not one I enjoy doing. Cold emailing, I don't enjoy doing that because everyone and their mother is sending out robo emails these days. And a very personal email that I spent 10 minutes writing gets lost in the fray of robo AI messages that someone doesn't care if they respond to. But that there are some things I do enjoy. I do enjoy speaking. I do enjoy videos. I do enjoy this. I enjoy writing occasionally. I enjoy some networking. I definitely enjoy talking with others that are in the industry about what's going on with them and learning from them. So when I find what it is I enjoy and it's effective in bringing in clients, now we're getting somewhere.
So good return on ad spend for social media would be you spend $1, you get 5 back. So 1 to 5. If you're spending $1 on networking and you get $5 back, I would argue that's pretty easy to do if you're networking. And I think the ROI on networking is a lot more than on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah. Can be.
Yeah, can be if you're doing it the right way.
Yeah. I've had many a time when I've looked at my expense report and been like, holy crap, I got to stop buying lunches because
that's fair.
That's like 5, 6, 7 lunches, which adds up to, $500, and I don't have a client for it.
That's fair. Yeah.
In some cases, but that's the point though, is something you enjoy, something you can do effectively or frequently and consistently, and something that actually works. So we got to measure it, and whatever that measurement is, whether it's that return, a 5 to 1, or whether it's I've been to 10 networking events now and how many clients do I have from it, or I've spent this much on something, what do I have for it, or I've put out 10 blogs and what do I have for it? I think it's a good thing. I had a guy in my office Monday. We were talking about whatever we were talking about, and I think we were talking about LinkedIn. And he's like, we need analytics. I'm like, well, I don't have the analytics. He's like, well, no, they're here. You just got to click this button. He says you need to watch when you post something. You need to watch to see what kind of response you get to it. How many reactions, how many people are just looking over it, how many people are actually clicking on it, and then how many people are actually going to your website after that, after you posted it. You need to track this stuff. Why? Because you need to determine whether what you're doing is effective or not. Because otherwise, you're putting a lot of energy out there without a lot of return, if any.
Yep.
So, so again, at the end of the day, you can take business development. You can really generally speak to it in one of four ways. I've added the fourth now.
There you go.
There's the networking, creating an audience, delivering good client service, or outsourcing it. Here at the Practicing Accountant, we focus on the first three of those four. And in order to really create clients, we need to find one of those, a business development effort that fits in one of those three buckets that you enjoy, that can be done frequently and consistently, and something that we can measure as being effective.
Awesome.
That was my thought.
Appreciate it, Doug. As always.
Of course.
See ya.
Cheers. Thanks for watching this episode of the Practicing Accountant podcast. We hope that you took away with it some idea, at least, of the different buckets of business development efforts that you can choose from. But more importantly, finding those efforts that you enjoy doing, that you can do frequently and consistently, and most importantly, that are effective. Business development isn't necessarily easy, but if you find the things that you enjoy doing, it can really create a difference in your business. Thank you very much for watching this episode. We hope you visit us at www.thepracticingaccountant.com. We hope you share and like this episode, and we hope to have you back. Thank you again for watching.